We are now recording our meeting, general meeting tonight, December 5th, 2022, 7 p.m., where we're going to review the 75 question test and answer any questions that our membership might have. At this point in time, I'm going to hand it over to Dave Gustafson and Jim Marine Jr.
All right. Every time, I'll have to apologize. Every time I go to open up this test, it disappears on me. I got the answers. So we had some people send in some questions on a few of them. A couple of them are repeats. Let's see if I can find it here again. Okay, we'll just do it this way. All right. The first one we're going to go over is question number 26. And I will read the question and we can have discussion about this if need be. A1 is intentionally fouled by B1. Upset with the foul, A1 pushes B1 and is assessed a technical foul. The officials rules this a double foul. Is the official correct? So we would not have a double foul on that. What we would have is we would have what they call a false double foul. The first foul is the intentional foul on B1, and the second foul would be on A1, the technical foul, for a dead ball contact foul. So the way we would handle that in a game situation is you call the intentional foul, you whack A1 with a technical foul, you are going to shoot 2 shots for the intentional foul. A1 would shoot 2 shots. Anyone on team B would shoot 2 shots for the technical foul, and team B would get the ball opposite the scorer's table. So in this case, it's not actually considered a double foul, but it's called a false double foul. So you would do those in the order of occurrence. Does that make sense to everybody? Hearing none. So that was asked by a couple of people. We got about 10 to go over, so they won't be too long. What did I just bing? Okay. So 42. This is an interesting one because I think this is going to be an exception. A3 dunks during the pregame warmups. The official charges A3 with a technical foul, charges the head coach of team A with an indirect technical foul. The official also informs the coach that the coaching box privilege has been lost. The official instructs the scorer to record 1 team foul for team A. Is this correct? So per this test, that answer would be correct because it would be an indirect technical foul on the head coach, as well as a foul, on the player, technical foul on the player. And the coach would lose the box. However, the state of Massachusetts has the exception to the coach's box rule that they changed last year, if we all remember. So they changed that last year so that the coach, in the case of a technical foul or an indirect technical foul, does not lose the coaching box. So we don't make them sit anymore. So in this case, the answer on the test would be yes. However, the way we are going to do it in a game is coaches do not lose the coaching box. Head coaches do not lose the coaching box in the case of a technical foul. That's a little screwy one. The person who put that in, that's a good question. Let's jump back to question number. Jump in if you have any questions about these or want to make comments, please. Because some of these could be open for discussion.
I am watching the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer there. But if you do have a question or you want to add in something, please just unmute yourself and come on in.
Yeah, thank you. The next one we'll do is question number 21. While A1's try is in flight, a double personal foul is committed. The try is successful. The official awards Team B the ball and rules Team B may move along the end line on the ensuing throw-in. So in this case, the answer to this is yes. So because the ball is in flight, the point of interruption is the made basket. So when the ball enters the basket, the hoop is good. You're going to report the two fouls, one against A2 and one against B2. And then B would be given the ball at the point of interruption with the right to run the end line. So the point of interruption, actually, that is the made basket. The ball doesn't become dead, it stays a live ball. So other things can happen. 26 was a repeat. Let's go to question 32. 32. During an alternating possession throw-in, A1 steps onto the court prior to releasing the ball. The official rules a violation and has the scorer set the alternating possession arrow toward Teams B's basket. Is the official correct? In this case, the official would be correct because the throw-in has ended when the ball is legally touched on the court or the throw-in team violates. So on an alternating possession throw-in, when the throw-in team violates for one of the reasons, either leaves a throw-in spot, steps onto the court, doesn't throw it directly onto the court, or there's a 5-second count, those would be your violations. They lose the ball and the arrow in that case. So you would reset the arrow towards Team B, and now it's just a throw-in, a common throw-in. It's a throw-in for the violation, not a throw-in for the alternating possession. So B would get the next alternating possession. Hope that makes sense to everybody. How about 41? Both teams are in the bonus. While A1 is dribbling, B1 tips the ball away. During the scramble for the loose ball, A1 pushes B1 and is charged with a common foul. The official awards B1 a bonus free throw situation. Is the official correct? So the answer to this one is no. And the reason for that is even though there is no player control during an interrupted dribble, there still is team control. So when A1 pushes off B1 and recovers the ball and you have a foul call, you would have a common foul on A1 and it would be a team foul. So team control foul. So you wouldn't have a player control foul, but you would have a team control foul on that one. That's one we have to be careful that we get right, that we don't call it a player control foul and that we don't let them shoot free throws on that, because that does happen in our ball games. Let's try 52.
Just right before you start,
Yep.
I believe you, I don't know which one you was talking about, but it was, I believe, a double foul where the ball entered the basket.
Yes,
If the ball doesn't enter the basket, we use the possession arrow, correct?
so if the ball does not enter the basket, we use the possession arrow. Correct,
Okay.
because
All right.
there's no team control.
Correct,
There is no point of interruption.
correct. All right.
Yeah.
That was just clarifying that. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, good clarification. Good question there. Wouldn't have thought of that. So we got a 52. Let's try this one. Airborne A1 deflects a pass to the floor. A1 returns to the floor, catches the ball, and dribbles. The official rules this a legal dribble. Is the official correct? So you're in the air and you deflect the ball to the floor. So you are actually putting the ball to the floor with your deflection. So I'm thinking about how this would happen, how I would do this in a game. I think I would probably do it wrong in a game. So you deflect the pass to the floor. So you have now batted the ball to the floor. A1 returns to the floor, catches the ball, and dribbles. By rule, it's a so that's perfectly legal because it's not starting a dribble. So the answer to this is no. The 52. Let me reread that because I confused myself. Airborne A1 deflects the pass to the floor. A1 returns to the floor, catches the ball, and dribbles. The official rules this illegal, an illegal dribble. Is the official correct? No. So think of it this way, you throw your teammate a pass, it hits him in both hands, he drops it, he picks it up. He can do whatever he wants with that. You can dribble it, but doesn't constitute a dribble in that case. So
Hey,
50,
Gus, the fact that it says airborne, that shouldn't be a factor then, right?
No,
It doesn't matter if
airborne's
he's
not-
airborne or not.
yeah, airborne has nothing to do with it. Airborne's just that little piece that they put on these refresher tests to try to confuse you. So you could be on the floor and deflect it. You could be in the air and deflect it. It could hit you in the face and go to the floor. So airborne has got nothing to do with the question whatsoever. What has to do with it is there's a deflected, you deflected it, you went and recovered it. Now you can go dribble it. Because you never started a dribble, it didn't constitute a dribble, that deflection to the floor. All right, let's go to question 74. A5's dunk attempt misses and the ball is deflected upward outside the imaginary cylinder. A5 grabs the ring to protect himself. A5, while still holding the ring, grabs the ball and dunks it. The official rules this legal. Is the official correct? No. He can grab the rim legally to protect himself, but he cannot make a play on the basketball while grasping the ring in this case. So what he's done is he's fine right up into the point of grabbing the ring and protecting himself. While still holding the ring, he grabs the ball and dunks it. The official rules it's a legal play. No, what you would have is you would have a violation. You would not have a technical for this. You would have a violation for this, and I believe the violation that you would have to be a basket interference. Although it's out of the imaginary cylinder. So let me look here. We're gonna come back to 74. Jimmy, any chance you can look up the references for 74? And we'll get back to that one because I want to know the real reference for that. I have it, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose this sheet again if I go to it. Let's go.
Gus, I don't think he's on. He's got a game tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
74 references 10-4-4A that I have. That's in the old book, though. I don't know if that helps you.
Oh, that's in the old book.
Yeah, I didn't have good luck using the new book. What a surprise that is.
All right. Who's got the new book that can look up that rules reference for me?
Kevin, what was the number?
Or we can get back to it. If somebody could look up that, could go look at the answer sheet and it should have the rule reference right there.
Same one.
Yeah, 10-4 something.
Okay, I'll take it back. My son is on. Game
Oh.
must be over, but he can't unmute for some reason. Maybe he's in
That's
the locker room. I don't know.
I'll try to unmute him from my end.
So that rule reference is 10-4.
-4A.
10-4 dash.
It would be the same reference, wouldn't it? I mean, the book doesn't make a difference. They haven't changed the numbers of the rules, have they?
He's in his car. He said it should be basket interference.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a basket interference call, but 10-4 is player control.
You're all
foul.
set again.
Hi, Johnny. Hi, Patrice.
Oh,
All right, yes, I would go with a basket interference on that, but we will get clarification on that.
I did mute them, Gus. Sorry.
That's all right.
Patrice.
I like to give them a hard time. Let's go to 8. Okay, so 8. After the horn sounds to end the quarter, A1 and B1 taunt one another as they head to their respective benches. The official rules a double technical foul for unsporting conduct. So we're good up to that point. The official notifies each coach that they have lost their coaching box privilege and begin the next quarter with the alternating possession throw it. So here again, here's another one of those questions that the answer to the question is yes, because at the end of the quarter, the players become bench personnel. They are no longer players, they are bench personnel. So those would also be indirect technical fouls charged to the head coaches. So A1 and B1 would get a technical foul, and both head coaches would get an indirect technical foul in that case. Per the rule book, you would have loss of the coach's box, but due to that Massachusetts MIAA rule that they have, and we're going to go over some of those a little bit too tonight, you no longer lose the coach's box. Hopefully that one makes sense now. It's kind of a similar problem with that other question too. Let's go to 48. With 4 minutes remaining in the quarter, A1 in the backcourt throws a pass towards A5 in the front court. the pass hits the ring and rebounds untouched back to A1 in the backcourt. The official allows play to continue. Is the official correct? So it's not a try for goal. It is a pass that hits the ring and comes all the way back into the backcourt to A1. So in this case, you would have to have a backcourt violation. You would have a violation on that for backcourt. So the answer to this would be no, because you don't deem that a try for goal. So once it hits the ring or the backboard or the floor or a player, it has gotten to have front court status. So in this case, it's going from front court status to backcourt status, untouched by team B. So therefore, it would be a backcourt violation. I would like to have everybody come off of mute and tell me if they've ever seen that before, but let's not. If that
Because
happens in your game, good luck.
Gus, I've never seen that before, but the thing that I was questioning was, I thought once that the ball's in the backcourt, which it is on the throw-in, to be considered
this
in the
isn't a
front
throw-in,
court, you
though.
need to have you need to have the ball and the player all into the front court before it's all considered in the front court. In this case, it's only the ball that's in the front court, correct?
So this isn't
That's
a
wrong.
throw-in. So
What's
this
that?
is not a throw-in. This is he's A1's in the backcourt, throws a pass.
You're thinking of a 10-second count. The ball will hit front court status when it hits the floor, an official or a player, or in this case, the ring, and
Right.
goes into the backcourt.
Because they're not dribbling. If they're dribbling, it's the ball and both feet have to come across, 3 points of contact. But on a pass, as soon as it touches the floor in the front court, an official, a player, or the backboard or ring, it has front court status.
Got it. Thank you.
So in this case, when it kind of goes and goes, the kid's really strong to be able to do that. I think I would bail out and say it was a try for goal. I don't know what I'd do.
That was my question, Gus. Is it a try for goal and how do we interpret that?
No, because they specifically say pass in this case.
In a
So,
game, are you going to be judge and jury on whether it's a pass or a try or?
yeah, on lob passes, like a lob pass. Yeah, I've had a couple of games, not to tell the war, so I've had a couple of games that the team kept throwing lob passes to their big guy and he would go in and grab it and lay it in, or he would go and dunk it or whatever. And this was before that 3-point attempt situation. If it was thrown from outside the 3-point arc and it went in, and like there was another time that they ran the same play and a kid threw it from outside the 3-point arc and it entered the basket. And I only counted it as a 2 because it was a pass. It wasn't a try for goal. Now it would count as a 3 because they changed that rule, anything that enters from outside. So in this case, I think you can judge that it would be a pass, but in the question here, it's specifically saying pass. Now, if it's the end of the game, see, this also says there's 4 minutes left in the game. So it's not like time is winding down. If it's 3-4, 5-4, 3-2, 1, and the kid does it, now you might be able to think that that would be a shot. But in this case, you wouldn't anticipate a kid's going to take a shot from over half court. Even our best shooters in the areas don't do that.
Hey, Gus, remember the shot clock doesn't get reset if you deem it a pass.
Correct. If it hits the rim and you deem it a pass,
Correct.
correct, yes, because it's the same thing as if the ball is deflected off of somebody's head underneath the basket and hits the ring, it doesn't get reset. It only gets reset on a ball that hits the ring on a try for goal. Good input there. All right, let's go to question 16. All right, the head coach is charged with a direct technical foul for failing to designate his 5 starting players, at least 10 minutes before the scheduled start of the game. Is this correct? So no, it's not a direct technical foul on the head coach. That would be a administrative technical foul. And would not be charged to the head coach. It would be a team foul, but it would be an administrative technical foul in this case. They changed that several years back. So you would have a team foul for that, and you would only have one administrative technical foul given. All right, let's go to 46. A2 is in the act of shooting. Oh, A2 in the act of shooting is fouled by B2. As the horn sounds to end the quarter, A2 continues the throwing motion and releases the ball, which passes through the basket. Of course it does. The official disallows the goal and awards A2 2 free throws with no players lined up along the lane. So because the horn sounds and the ball's not released, we can't count the goal. However, this player was, so there's no continuation in this case because the horn sounds. However, the player was fouled in the act of shooting.
But as the horn sounds, doesn't
Right,
the horn end the quarter?
but you'd still
The
have
ball's in his
to-
hand. The ball's in his, now wait a minute, the ball is in his hand, right? In the
Yeah.
act of shooting, he's fouled as the horn sounds. Doesn't the horn end the period? The ball's in his hand. That's my problem with this question. The
Right.
ball is in his hand.
Right, right. So the ball is in his hand. He is still in the act of shooting. So he is fouled as the horn sounds.
Right.
So you still have to call the foul. However, the ball's not released, so you cannot score the basket.
Yeah, I got that part. It's giving him
So
the
you
two
would-
afterwards that I have a problem with.
You have what? It's
I get not awarding because the ball is in his hand.
right. So it is a shooting foul.
But he's in the act, Kev.
He's in the act of shooting.
I get all that. I really do.
Whistle, when you're in the act of shooting, the whistle ends the period. So if you're deeming it a foul, you
Right,
get 2.
right.
But then, Billy, according to that, wouldn't that be continuation?
Okay, let's go this way. All right,
Wouldn't be continuation.
all right, let me jump to this, okay? Put a little different wrinkle on it, right? In the act of shooting, right?
Yep.
The ball is released,
Okay.
no longer in his hand.
Yep.
The horn sounds,
We're going to award.
now he gets fouled.
It's one.
Well, after the horn, he gets fouled.
That would be a continuation. I would give him I'd count it and give him 1.
Right, right. So in this same case, he's in the act of shooting. He gets whacked on the arm as you hear, you're gonna call that foul.
Wow.
And you're gonna give him 2 shots.
Wouldn't he,
You're not
wouldn't he
gonna
have to be fouled before the horn sounds? If the foul happens when the horn sounds, nothing, I mean, the play's dead, right? The horn sounds,
No, the horn doesn't kill anything.
it ends the
The horn
quarter,
in
doesn't
this
it?
case, that player is, it's as the horn sounds.
So the foul happens
So the
while there's
foul
time on the
happens.
clock technically.
Foul happens.
Mhm.
This is not an easy question. So, this
I had
is,
this happen in a game, Gus.
I know, yeah, I think we all
course you
have, and I
did.
think we all react to it.
Of course you did.
And Andy Yazanoff was not happy.
Right. Yeah, never happy. So I think, so A2 in the act of shooting. So therefore he is in the act of shooting.
Mhm.
So he has the right to finish his shooting motion. Right?
I'm with
So-
you.
So he has the right to finish his shooting motion. So he's fouled by A2 as the horn sounds to end the quarter. Right? So we're all right with that. We got a foul, right? You're all right with a foul call there?
Not sure. If, I guess again.
I'm an
I-
airborne shooter, Kev. I'm an airborne shooter taking a jump shot,
Yep,
right?
yep,
As I'm in the air,
yep.
it is still considered part of that period, right?
Continuation. Yep.
Until I come to the floor,
Yep.
Yep,
right?
I'm with
Until
you,
I
yep.
come to the floor.
I'm
So
with you. Yep.
In the air, the horn sounds, I haven't let go of the ball, and now the guy wipes me out.
Man, I don't know.
You're gonna have a foul because he's in the act of shooting. You're not gonna be allowed
Okay.
to sit with a basket.
All right, you convinced me.
It's
Yeah,
even
that's
like
big-
if there's a shot clock violation, you can be fouled while the ball's in your hand.
Yes,
You can give them 2 shots, but if they release it after after the horn and the ball's still in their hand and the ball goes in, you don't have to count it,
right. You
That's a
wouldn't count the
strange
goal. Yeah,
right? But you still can give them 2 or 3 shots, whatever it is.
right.
Very good.
We good on that one?
We're good.
Okay, let's go to 59. B1 attempts to block A1's layup attempt. Misses the ball and slaps the backboard. Excuse me. The contact causes the backboard to vibrate and the ball to roll off the ring. Official rules, basket interference. Is the official correct? No. You cannot have basket interference without touching the ring, the net while the ball is on the cylinder, the ring of the net while the ball is on the cylinder, or the ball when it is in the imaginary cylinder. That's the only way you can have basket interference. In this case, it's not even a technical foul because it's a legal play when he slaps the backboard after missing the layup attempt. So it's a legitimate try for a block. Even though the contact causes the backboard to vibrate and the ball fall off the ring, rolls off the ring, you cannot have basket interference. The only time you could have anything on this is if you deem the player didn't make a play on the ball and slapped the backboard really, really hard, but you can never award the basket for that. What you would have is a technical foul for striking the backboard, intentionally striking the backboard. But you can, no matter how much this ring shakes and the basket moves and everything, you can't have basket interference. As much as we would like to call basket interference at times in this case.
Can you have a technical foul if the player defender and makes a legitimate tap to block the shot, but the backboard vibrates so hard that it still causes
No.
the shot?
No, as
So it
long as
doesn't,
there's
if
a,
you, once you deem the player has made a legitimate attempt to block the shot, it doesn't make any difference how hard that backboard or rim is shaking.
right, yep, doesn't matter how hard that player follows through and whacks the heck out of that backboard. There's no technical foul for that. So as long as we deem it a play to block a shot. So it's a judgment thing, but if that player goes up, kid's going in for the layup, and you come in with your left hand over the top of his head and try to slam it, miss it, totally whiff, and slap that backboard, you're okay. As long as we say that he's trying to block the shot. Or she's trying to block the shot. Those are all the ones that I've got to go over. Does anybody else have any other ones they would like to go over? While we're here thinking.
Gus, I may have missed this. Did you go over number 60? I apologize.
I did not see number 60 on my list to go over, but we will
That
go
came
over
up
it.
in the chat earlier tonight.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
B1 commits a common foul against dribbler A1. Team A is awarded a throw-in and misses a try for goal. B5 rebounds the miss and passes to B1, who scores. The table sounds the horn and play is stopped before the ensuing throw-in starts. The scorer informs the official that the common foul was the 7th team foul of the half. The official rules that it is too late to correct the error of not awarding the bonus free throw. All right, let's break this down. So we have a failure to award merited free throws, correctable error, right? So there's a common foul against the dribbler B1. You report the foul. Team A throws the ball in. Okay, you've got your first live ball with the clock started, right? So we're at that point now. Throwing, a missed try for goal, B5 rebounds. The miss passes to team B player who scores. So now we've got a dead ball. It needs to be caught before that throw-in starts, because that would be the second live ball, or the live ball after the clock, a live ball on the clock has started. So you have right up to that point to correct it. So the table sounds the horn and play is stopped before the ensuing throw-in starts. That's the key question here. I mean, the key word, before the ensuing throw-in starts. Scorer informs the official that it's 7. They say it's too late. No, you can correct it at that point. Okay? The way we are going to correct this, though, is A1 is going to go shoot a 1-on-1. Correct? So we're going to shoot 1-on-1. Makes them both, we score them both. Misses the first one, nobody's going to be lined up for this. Okay, because we've had a change of possession. So nobody would be lined up for the free throws that A1 gets. So they'd either make 1, make 2, or make none. Then they are going to get the ball underneath the basket, and they're allowed to run the end line after they've been scored upon, because B1 scored. So A1 will shoot 2 or 1-on-1, and then they'll get the ball underneath the basket with the end line to run, in this case. That's one of those you hope it doesn't happen, and you hope you remember who the shooter was, if it does happen. So Any other ones?
Guys, now is the time to be able to speak up and ask Gus any questions you might have on any of the questions on the 75 question test. It's a great
Gus.
opportunity.
I'm sorry, Gus, question number 14, is the answer no because the player must run directly onto the court?
Let's do a quick check of it. 14. During a designated spot throw-in, thrower A1 passes the ball to A2 while out of bounds. A1 takes several steps laterally and then enters the playing court. Upon entry, A1 receives a pass from A2. The officials rules this a legal play. So no, so this is a designated spot throw-in. A1 passes the ball to A2 while out of bounds.
No,
So
that's not what it,
A2
no, it's not. You're reading it wrong. During a
During a
designated,
designated spot throw-in,
right, pass the
thrower-
ball to A2.
thrower A1 passes the ball to A2 while-
Period.
while
No,
out of
no.
bounds.
No.
Oh,
no.
while out of bounds,
you
A1
go.
takes several
There you
steps
go.
laterally and then enters the playing court while out of bounds.
So he's passed the ball in legally. Now he just takes.
Yeah, he didn't come directly back
Yes,
onto the
come-
court.
He has
Okay.
to come immediately onto the court.
Yeah, he has to enter the court immediately after the throw-in. So
Could be
it's
a
the
technical
old, so if this is like underneath the basket and you throw the ball in and you run down the end line and use a pick to get open in the other corner, it's the old Bay Path play. Bay Path used to run that play all the time. That they'd have a throw in underneath their basket, they'd throw to the corner, they'd throw to the high post, to the top of the key. The kid that inbounded would actually run along the end line. There'd be a double screen for him. And he'd pop out on the other side of the double screen in the opposite corner. So yeah, you have to enter the court directly after throwing it in. I mean, you could take one step and come on to, we don't want to be scientists. But in this case, the kid would be gaining an advantage by taking several steps laterally and then entering the playing court. Yep.
Gus, we had
Gus,
a-
would you give a technical foul for that?
By rule, that is a technical foul, I believe. For not directly entering the court. Yes.
Gus, we had a question in the chat. It says, how do we find the rules references in the new book?
Okay. So the new book takes a little bit to get used to. Let me see if I can find a good one here. So the rules are all the same. It's still 1 through 10. However, they have changed like chapter 4, or they call them chapters. Let me just find something here that. So bonus free throws.
While Gus is looking this up, I would just ask you once again to make sure you looked at the link I sent out to you earlier today, just to sign in to get credit for the meeting. If you're having a problem getting signing into the link, please let me know directly. We just want to make sure we give everybody on the call credit for being here tonight. Some of you who don't have your videos on, we talked earlier as an executive committee. It's always nice to see your smiling faces so we know that you are actually there. Please don't take that in any other way. We went through COVID with kids and education. We know sometimes sometimes what happens when you turn the video on, you're there, but you're not there. Hi, Mike. I just saw you turn that on. Greatly appreciated. So if you could turn your video on so we can see your smiling faces, greatly be appreciated. Thank you.
So most of the rule references are gonna be under, like where it says there's a play, where they do their plays. And it says ruling. They're in parenthesis at the bottom of the rulings is where most of the things are, like shooting, try, and tap. It gets into like A, B, C, D now, what a tap is, what an airborne shooter is, things. And then they do the plays. And in the plays, it references 411, 441-1. And that's where you're getting your rule references from. So this handbook needs to kind of be used with the rule book at times. I think once we get used to these, it's going to work out okay. But it's not necessarily the same references that you're going to find. You know, they're scattered throughout in the parenthesis sections of things.
So Gus, is there one or two books for this year? This is a
Well,
handbook?
IBO has given us this handbook. There is a Federation rule book that you can get the online version of it, or you can order one. What's happened is at the Federation level, they are no longer working with IBO and allowing IBO to print the Federation rule book. So what we used to have was a full Federation rule book with all the IBO information in it, you know, all our names and locations and all that stuff. Now it's a matter of Federation has decided that they don't want to allow IBO to use any of their information. And they're kind of trying to pull a power play over some associations, IBO being one of them. Federation wants to take over everything. So that's why, like in football, in Massachusetts, we now use Federation rules instead of NCAA rules. So it's kind of a power play that's gone on right now.
So this board can't provide its members with a rule book?
I suppose we could supply everybody, but this handbook is what IBO is supplying as the rule book.
No, I get what you're saying, but it's nothing like a rule book to be able to look up the rule 410-1 or whatever. You can't find that in the handbook. You know, all of us have been around a long time. We know the previous rule books, and it's very easy to find the ruling. This handbook, you can't find the ruling easily.
Well, if you are looking for the ruling on charging, you would look up charging. If you're looking for a player control foul, you would look up player control foul. If you're looking up resumption of play on a throw-in, you would look that up. You know, once you start using this, I think it actually ends up easier. So like, you look up throw-ins. Now, granted, I understand that it's not the same rule numbers that we've always had memorized. You know, they're different chapters, and your possession arrow and alternating possession throw-in, you would just look up alternating possession throw-in. So you got to kind of go to that reference in the beginning of the book and say, all right, where do I find these? You know, what chapter are they all in? You got to go to the table of contents and look up, you know, guarding, screening, and it tells you every page they're on. So when you go to that table of contents and you have a question of, what's legal undershirts or what's not legal undershirts, you go right to that section, uniforms and things. So I think once you get used to looking at this, it actually makes more sense the way it's laid out. Because you don't have to jump around to rule 4 all the time to get your definitions. Everything is right here together with it. You jump in, you have your plays and everything like that. I mean, yeah, I agree, it's different. And some people like it and some people don't. But it is, it is the first year having it. I mean, as far as us going out as a board and getting Federation rule books, I gotta be honest and say, I don't think we can go buy 120 rule books. That's what Federation is trying to eliminate. What they want you to do is have every individual member so that they have a pool of what's going on with every person.
Gina, thank you for that question. Gus, thank you for that clarification. Gus, I'm respectfully going to ask you just to go over once again before the season starts, the salient points for rule changes this year. I know there weren't a lot of them, and we covered them in our last meeting, but with the season starting, I just want to make sure everybody's on board. If you don't mind doing that.
Yeah, so the hair, they can wear beads in their hair, like circular beads now. They can wear anything in their hair as long as it's tight to the head. They can wear bobby pins as long as they're tight to the head. You can have long hair and extensions with beads on the end of them that you could swing around and hit somebody with. But you can now wear the beads and stuff. We don't have to say you can't play because of it. A 35-second shot clock. That we are going to use the shot clock for the 10-second violations. So if it starts at 35, when we get to 25, we have a shot clock violation. We
have a backcourt violation or a shot clock violation?
Shot clock violation. No, I lied. We have a 10-second count. Sorry about that. Let's start that over.
No worries.
We got a 35-second shot clock. The clock starts at 35. When we get to 25, you would have a 10-second violation. Not 24, but 25, because that would be the 10 seconds. Now, I'm recommending that you still have a visible count in case you have a clock malfunction. But we are on the shot clock for the initial 10-second violation. If the ball is in flight between back court and front court, and it goes to 25 seconds before it touches the floor, the backboard, the ring, a player, or an official in the front court, you are going to have a backcourt, a 10-second violation. If you find out in the game that they are not starting the shot clock properly, so the shot goes up, it hits the ring, it's not possessed by the defensive team, yet they're already running the shot clock, you're going to have to stop it, go over and explain to them how to do it right. If they continue to do it wrong, you are going to have to tell both coaches, we are now on a 10-second count as opposed to the shot clock. Now, say you have a throw-in with 35 on the shot clock. The throw-in comes in, the ball is knocked out of bounds with 28 seconds left on the shot clock. You're going to have a throw-in. Now they have to 18 seconds. But you cannot use the shot that because it might be 28.6 seconds left. And you'll never get that right. So now we were on our 10-second count. Screwy as hell, going to be confusing. However, that's how they want us to do it. We're going to reset for a kicked ball or a fisted ball, so a violation on the defense. Once it is 19 seconds or less, we are going to reset to 20 seconds. Anything above 20 seconds or higher, that's what they have for playing time. Let's see what the other rule changes we have. Closely guarded. We used to have 5-5-5. So 5 seconds holding, 5 seconds dribbling, 5 seconds holding. Now it's just holding in the front court only. No more dribbling, 5-second count. They can dribble for 20 seconds, 35 seconds, they can dribble the ball. So you don't have to worry about if they get head and shoulders by. So the only time we have a 5-second count, a visible 5-second count, is during a held ball or the player holding the ball. Those are your rule changes. That's everything that the MIA dictates. Now, something else got brought up. Tommy McCarthy brought this up to us. There was a question from a head coach. This question may come up during a game or during a situation. A player has several facial piercings, ear piercings, probably nose, eyebrow, all this stuff. And it was requested or asked if they could put in, I guess there's like little rubber, I call them spacers. They're gauges maybe, or spacers, they're soft. They're spacers, they fill in the holes. They take the earrings out, they put those in. Those are not legal replacements. They are not allowed to use those. And when it comes up, we'll when it comes up, we won't, you cannot use them. I'm trying to think what they actually call those things.
The glass plugs.
Yeah.
They're called retainers, believe it or not.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you, Tommy.
Retainers, good. Yeah. They're to put in place of their gauges or whatever and all that stuff and earrings. So no, those are not legal. They're not allowed to wear those. I think that's everything from a rules standpoint.
I want to take an opportunity to thank Dave for walking through this. It's not an easy task in any capacity. So thank you so much for navigating this, Dave. Thank you so much for the questions from the membership that we have on the call tonight. I do just want to make a quick reference to the fact that with the season starting up, we hope that you have an opportunity to be able to not only get in shape and be ready, but more importantly, to get ready to enjoy an opportunity to be back to what we call hopefully the first normal season we've had in a while. So again, we respect you guys, the integrity of you learning and the professional development by being part of this and walking through the test is second to none. I mean, if you want to stay good at what you do, you got to work at it. And there's no other way to look at that other than this. At this time, I would like to open it up to any other membership that would like to speak. We have an open floor segment here. So please let me know if you'd like to speak to the board.
This is Gus again. Just want to jump in.
Sure, Gus.
Gina, I think what we're going to try to do as an executive committee, what we'll do is we'll look into rule books, the Federation rule books. We'll see what the cost of those is. And if it is actually available to be able to get them as a board, we will do that just to look, because it is a good question, very, rather than have just this, maybe it is time for, the two books might be not a bad thing. And depending on cost, of things. We'll take a quick look at that.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
And I think they print them every 2 years now. So I don't know if last year's is considered for this year's too, but I know they didn't change. Nothing has changed in last year's rule book to this year's rule book, other than that 35-second shot clock and the closely guarded. Closely guarded and beads. Those are the same three things. Those are federation changes. Those are the only things that would have changed from last year's book.
And Gina, I'll add that to my agenda for the next executive committee meeting.
Yeah, it's just because when you even look at the answer sheet, and I think someone else was referencing this earlier, and they have the rule, it used to be so quick when you knew 410-1 was whatever, chapter 4, number 10. Now we're saying, go into the table of contents. What are we talking about? Look it up, find it. You know what I mean? So that format was much better for knowing for finding the rule quickly.
Yeah.
James,
For all of us old timers, right? Not
Well,
you, I'm not calling you old.
Not me. But yeah,
Gus-
it's just a quicker reference to get right to that
Yeah.
rule, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah, we'll take a
Valid
look.
question.
Gus,
Thank you.
we can check in with George and see if he has any books left from last year too. It's pretty much, like you said, not much has changed. If we got any extras left over from last year, we can give them out to anybody that wants them.
Good point, Jeff.
All right.
Mr. Palermo, I see you smiling right there. I always know you like to speak to a captive audience, and I am not going to miss an opportunity to bring you on. So please, come on.
Surely you jest first. of all.
Surely
Can
I
you hear me?
jest.
First of all, once again, outstanding job, Gus. That was brilliant. And greatly appreciated by us old timers, if you will. A couple of things in general. First of all, congratulations to the new membership. I was one of the most pleased people to know that we had an influx of new people this year, because we certainly need it. And good luck to all. It's greatly appreciated. And furthermore, it's nice to see that these people know how to respond right away when opportunities arise for them to be able to work, be it a scrimmage or an opportunity to get any actual games. Thus far, as a board, from my standpoint, I can't be more pleased to say thank you for a terrific job for everybody in regards to responding really in a timely fashion. There are going to be a number of changes along the way. Thus far, in my league in particular, on the girls' side, Bartlett will not be having a girls' junior varsity team, nor will Southbridge, nor will David Prouty. And Millbury does not have a girls' middle school team because of low numbers. So what this transforms into is a situation where there are a lot of time changes in regards to the actual begin or start times at these sites. So that means that even though there are cancellations from a 5 o'clock JV start, there are a lot of changes to the varsity schedule. So you have to be diligent and re-accept those assignments when they're reposted for a new time change. Bartlett, for one, is going to 6 p.m. varsity starts, unless if they had like a boys, girls, or girls, boys doubleheader situation already preset. So each day you should be checking, and many of you do thoroughly a number of times on a regular basis, but please respond every time there is a change. If for some reason you cannot get out of work or you cannot make it, let me know. There might be an alternate site that I can put you at that would perhaps be at that same time as a 6 o'clock, 6:30 beginning, rather than you having to scurry from a job performance and get there for 6 if you're unable to do so. So there are ways to circumvent that, and I will certainly work with you. But more importantly, like Dean said, this is like a little bit of a throwback year. We're going to go back to hopefully where we have been, with having actual people in the stands, you know, and maybe you'll be able to have facilities to be able to shower and the like or whatever, hopefully, and you'll be treated accordingly. If you're not, and it happens to be one of my schools, that something happens and you are not treated professionally, then I want to be informed immediately. If there's a technical foul situation that you have in the course of a game or something unusual, text me immediately at the end of the game, or anything that is irregular, out of balance, or awkward that may have occurred. And I think that that should suffice in regards to that. But it's a learning process too. Sometimes there are people that you have as mentors that are helping you out. You know, confer with them perhaps first if you don't want, if you think it's not worthy of a call or a text. But I don't foresee it as a difficult situation. I see it as something that's going to be helpful for all of us. But stay healthy, do the best you can, enjoy yourselves while you're doing it, and thank you for everybody that for the job that you're doing. It's greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Dean, I would just like to echo what John said.
Absolutely.
I agree wholeheartedly from start to finish.
Dean, this is Gus taking over again.
Yep, please.
Only because I just,
Because you can. Let's call it what it is.
I would like to congratulate Tommy McCarthy. He received the Massachusetts Basketball Coaches Association Presidential Service Award,
Yes, he did.
which is a pretty cool thing for him to get. I don't know if we've ever had an official or somebody associated with Board 26 receive that award. I haven't heard an announcement of it ever, but it's nice to see that Tommy's hard work and things have been recognized by the Coaches Association. And I guess they had a nice dinner up to Holy Cross and a few people went up to that. Friends of Tommy's and things, and nice award for Tommy. So congratulations, Tommy.
I'll echo that for sure.
Agreed, 100%. And anytime we can be recognized in that capacity, it's a win-win for the Board 26. So thank you. And Gus, thank you for bringing that up. And John for
Hey,
seconding
Dean?
that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one more thing, if I may, because I know he would be, he would never say it, but along those lines, even though it was a different sport, Gus recently received a tremendous award for contributions to football collegiately. And it was an outstanding evening for him and his family, and he should be receiving commendations as well. And obviously, we're proud of both of them for doing not only basketball, but football and the like. Thank you both.
We just keep
Thank you,
getting
John.
better and better. Well done, guys. And thank you, John, for saying that. And Gus, congratulations. Absolutely correct. So for both of you. Do we have any other signers on the call tonight that would like to speak? Now is a great opportunity to get your voice heard. Seeing none, I want to say, honestly, thank you so much. I wish you all the very best this year. Remember, we represent an amazing board. What we do each and every day is something that is to be cherished and loved. And, you know, coming from being a high school basketball coach for 12 years and coming onto the side of officiating, I can tell you wholeheartedly, I absolutely love every moment of what I do. The thrill of managing a game is something that we should all take very seriously and remember at all times that we do this for the kids. We do this for the integrity of what the game is all about. And more importantly, to uphold Board 26's history of what we're all about too. So again, thank you all for being here tonight. At this point in time, I am going to stop the recording. If anybody wants to stay on and talk to anybody on the executive committee, they are more than welcome to. So again, guys, thank you so much. Wish you the best this season, and no doubt about it, make sure you have a lot of fun, put some smiles on your faces, and enjoy the opportunity to be out there and working. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.